Wow, peace family. Facebook actually stopped it because they said that I didn't have rights to the music or something like that that I was playing. I was playing Fight the Power, Public Enemy, because I just want to be reminded that it's always a work in progress. It's a never ending struggle, so we got to continuously fight the power, So I just decided just to start it again and just start with me and forget the song. But what I wanted to show was that, to quote something from my brother Seti, we got to bang on this beast daily, and the way to do that is, to achieve everything that we know that he fears, unity, love, economic growth, empowerment, to wake up, to be wakened, to be awoke, So, and honestly, I've been doing my part, I've been trying to do my part daily, while continuously working on myself. I mean, I give myself to other people, but sometimes I feel like I'm not giving enough, to me. And I'm just like, okay, now you really gotta, work on it, sis. And you really gotta, deal with what you gotta do. You just gotta continue to press forward. So with that said, I'm doing this, and I realize that, black girls rock here, we rock. And we can be powerful in everything that we do, and just working to be, consistent. So what I was realizing was that like I said, it's a never ending struggle. It's a never ending fight. It's a never ending struggle to elevate yourself and for you to grow. And it's a never ending struggle to just, get your people all on the same frequency, And I came back from the one I do weekly, spiritual session, about maybe like an hour ago. And I came home from it, and it was really powerful. It was a lot of people. Some children, they brought some because children are welcome, so they had the kids there, and which I thought was great because, kids, you're not too young, I think, to get into yoga and meditation and find your peace. So, and then maybe you can teach other kids. So, but yeah, so, it was a positive deal. We were talking about the astrology, solar eclipse. That was a lecture. And all the eclipses we've been dealing with, and Mercury retrograde and all that just went in on the 12th yesterday. So dealing like that. Supposedly it was a meteor shower last night that only happens every 96 years, and I wasn't aware until last night. So I didn't get a chance to see it. This is way before even the solar eclipse. That's what happened on the 21st. So, but I got a lot of different insight, from what was brought forth, versus what I've seen on YouTube. So I'm definitely going, it's a lot to process and think over. So I'm definitely going to take the time to do that in regards to a lot of energies and things like that. That's just going to be on the flux with everything that's happening, astrologically, astronomically. Oh, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, when I was there, I met another sis. I think she's at her beginning stages, and because she's still, doing certain things that might cause you to be on the low frequency. And I was just talking to her. I was just like, girl, I understand. This is what I was trying to tell people, like, use your own personal experience, your own growth process, and use that to, link up and to build with others, and you tell them like that. And I told her, I understand, I told her, I can't tell you not to eat meat, sis, because I don't know what's your blood type, but I will tell you pork. And I told her, what's ironic is that there are a lot of different religions on the conscious community. You go from more to Hebrew Israelites to Kemetic. There's a variety. I told her, but they all seem to come together in regards to pork. So I was like, in regards to how their opinion on it. So I told her, I said, I'm trying to break it down to wait, but I still don't really know the details. So I told her about young Pharaoh. I said, he's a young brother, young. So, usually other youths more likely to link up with somebody like that because, she's still doing certain things. I was trying to tell her about, alcohol. And I'm like, girl, I know, when you like it, I know, so I'm trying to, explain it. So I was just telling her certain things that she can apply to herself. I was telling her, because she said she had took a what she said, a bath, or she listened to meditation music. And I said, there's other ways to relax this. You should try to get some detox baths. And I said, you can, or like a spiritual bath. I said, you can Google like different recipes. I said, definitely get into that, get some essential oils, get some lavender, put it in the tub, put it on the bed, all that with the meditation music playing. I said, what else is? I said, I remember one time, I mentioned Young Pharaoh, and I said, I remember one time he was talking about the importance of stretching. I said, now at that time I was really in a low frequency, wasn't even trying to nowhere near a high frequency. And I told her, I said, when he said that, I said, dude, stretching, really? So trivial. Like, I ain't wasting my time. I told her, I said, but to realize, like I said, but it really works. I told her, I said, he talked about waking up in the morning, stretching before you go to bed, especially before you go, I said, to release those stiff joints, release that stress, that anger, really, get some flexibility and really be able to relax. So she said, yeah. And I said, you think about it, sis, something so simple. And she was like, I know. And I said, it would make you, have the biggest impact, have the biggest effect. So she was like, yeah, I would never think. So she was like, thank you so much for talking about Bentonite Clay. She was like, just thank you so much. I'm so glad I came here, and I'm glad I'm like learning from y'all. And I was like, no problem, because that's what it's about. I said, you know what? I'm starting to believe people say it is our time to awaken. And she said, what do you mean by that? I said, because I think about years ago when I was still asleep. And I said, I don't think it would have been as easy as it is now to kind of, waking people. I said, look at What the Health. That got a lot of people like, whoa, I don't know if I should be eating this, and she was like, oh yeah. And I said, well, could we think that it would have happened 20 years ago? It's easy. I don't know. I told her, like, just the other day I was in Lyft. This was a Christian woman driver. I said, I got in, there was already a guy in there. As soon as I got in, he was like, praise the Lord, and I was just like, yeah, and I was sitting there. And I'm engaged in other conversations with other topics that we're talking about. And then he got out, and I told her where I was just coming from. And I said, well, this brother, he's in shaman hands. And she said, what's that? And I'm like, oh, Lord, I don't even know how to begin, because I'm about spirituality in the realm and connecting. So I just told her certain things, what we've been taught, what we've been lied to. We have to, unlearn everything we taught and read, teach ourselves the truth. So just telling her like just bits and pieces. And I told her, I said, listen, Black News 102, I said, he's still a little street, so he probably can connect with people who come in from the streets. I said, one thing about him, he brings in different religions, ideologies, a way to connect them all. He breaks everybody, from the Moors to the Hebrews to the Kemetic, like everybody. And I said, and you get to see, and you tell me what you go by, what resonates more likely with you and your energy. Just learn about other options. If you want to stay a Christian, that's on you. That's your choice. I said, I'm not here to try to change anything from you. My main objective is just to tell you to become aware of your history, your roots, your culture, everything that you came from, everything that we are, the power of us, our melanin, everything that we, created, we invented, everything that we established, even through, slavery. And I said, and beyond. And I said, and then learn about the white man's culture, because you have to know where he come from, where he stemmed from, where his hate for you stemmed from, why he's had your foot on his neck for over 400 years, why he's still picking on you, why he's killing you, harvesting your organs and extracting your melanin, why it's powerful and it's more sold on the street, we're more profitable, dead than like just telling her, all these different things. You should have seen, I told him, I said, this is how easy it was. Every time we pulled up to a street light and a red light, she was just turned around to me the whole time, just engaged. Even missed when it was like turning green. And I'm like, sis, it's turning green here. So, and I could tell that she was like really like, listening and really absorbing a lot of information. And I was just like, see what I mean? Like how I feel like how easy it is. And just talking to the brothers and letting them know, you telling the African brother why I wanted to move out with a predominantly, not just predominantly Black, but the fact that they dealing with, a lot, they really dealing with depression, the poverty, all that. And he was just like, well, it's not so up and up. And I was like, but that's where the communities most need us. And that's where we got to be while we continue to work on ourselves. I said, one thing I'm happy about linking up with them, I met other brothers who like purchased land, already have land, got their own gardens. I was like, can I support the brother? Can I buy vegetables? I'd rather buy from you straight out the ground versus going to a farmer's market or whatever. So he was like, yeah, he would love to get into that. He want to purchase more land. I said, great, because I want to get into that, even going to school. So I was just like, what I'm happy about is because I know I'm good at growing and everything. I just got the green thumb here. And I told them, this is how we're going to regain economic control. Something as easy as supermarkets, because we got to eat. And that's the easiest way to gain the income. I told them, just us starting on our own property and gaining farmer market, have our own little pop-up farmer market stands and feeding our own people. Get them away from the corner stores. Get them away from the markets. Get them to put money in us. Get them to eat healthier. Give them healthy options, alternative. Teach them, tell them. If they eat meat, and if you got a slaughterhouse and you deal with it, then you feed your people meat. The problem is to regain the economic control. While we can still school them when they come and tell them, this is why you shouldn't do this, or this is why you should do this, or learn about this, or whatever. But in the meantime, it's about getting your people, and but the whole supply and demand, and getting your people in droves to come to you. I told them, I said, even if they drink alcohol, you can still, they already coming in with the habit. You know what I mean? I said myself, you can still teach them and school them, but what's wrong with you kind of creating your own moonshine or something and sell it to your people on the slide just to get them out the liquor stores? I said, even if they smoke cigarettes, can't grow tobacco, create your own leaves, make your own handmade leaves, sell your own people they little things so they can get that, so while we can wean them off, while we can still school them. But the problem is to get them from the convenience stores, the corner stores, the liquor stores, the markets, just so we can get all our people. That's how we're going to start to even reclaim economic control. And he was just like, bet, 100. Like, I agree with that. You're right. We do. And I was like, bump me telling other people like this what we should do. Let me just link up with the people who say yes, they willing, and let's go and do it. Because I said myself, it's never ending. I realize that's what I was going to tell the title of the video, like either never ending or like a work in progress, a work in progress, like, because it's just steady in regards to the revolution, in regards to liberation. It's never ending. We got to continue to keep working on ourselves, continue to work on, getting our other people and conscious and the same mindset, not the same mindset, but on the same frequency, you know what I mean? And then, working and to building up our communities and building for our people. I was telling a brother earlier today, and if he was taking me home, I was just like, we got the power. The power is in us, and we got the power to do it, especially if we did so much during horrible, horrific eras. And I'm not saying this is not one either, but, compared to the slavery and whatnot, and the fact that they were still able to still create, still be powerful. And I'm like, this is within us. This is in our bloodline. This is in our DNA and our heritage here. You know what I mean? And I know it's got to be running through us. Hey, Black, and men and boys, we all rock here, so, this is just where, my mindset, and things, and when I'm trying to live, and I said, sis, I'm still working. I'm still dealing, even with all this stuff happening to Cliff, all this energies and whatnot, and you're still, battling a lot of stuff. So I was like, trust me, I'm still a work in progress. You know what I mean? I got to look at that, and I got to look at what I feel like I'm put here for, and what my life's purpose, and what I like doing, because I enjoy the illumination in my people's eyes when I'm teaching them something, and they respond like positively to it, and they're like illuminated, and they feel so like enlightened, and like they're opening up. And I love watching that feeling from them. So this is where I get really into it, where I'm just like, this is my mission, and this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to be more about, you know what I mean? And embrace everything, and realize that everybody got a process, and it's going to take them time. And I'm not here to tell you, just cut out me. I understand it's strong, it's a struggle, all that. Just work on the pork. Just work on that, and just work on doing less and less, consuming less and less. I never tell people to do a shock to the body, nothing like that. But I definitely don't want you doing anything that's going to, add, toxins to you or whatnot. And even think about when people worry about they being and their environment, and their surroundings. And even when I was telling her, meditation is good, even coming here doing the yoga, doing the stretching, working in that, taking the baths, relaxing, finding ways to relax, finding ways to, to elevate your mind, do certain things, and I was just like, even if you feel comfortable, introducing, other people and stuff. So she was like, no, let me just start with me. And I was like, yes, definitely, and, because that's where it starts, So I'm just saying, but I'm so enthusiastic, and kind of anxious a little bit about, having my people all elevated, because I do feel like this is our time, because there's so many things that's happening, there's so many changes, and I feel like it's kind of happened at a rapid pace. And that's what I realized. So that's what I was just trying to tell people, like, just me letting the people know. I never try to force a decision from them. I never try to tell them or force them a way to go, but just tell them like, you definitely want to learn about yourself. Why? Because it starts there. You got to know that. You got to know that we were more than just slaves. A lot of people just tie it to that and know that what we accomplished during slavery. You know, I told them, I said, you got to know about your culture just like everybody else, because you're going to feel empowered by that. And that's what it's about. It's about taking that power back, reclaiming that power. So I told them that power over yourself. So I told them that's where they got to start with, just learn about themselves and their culture when they stem from, so they can feel more empowered. They're going to feel more empowered to learn more. They're going to feel empowered to even do more. They're going to feel empowered to, want to change certain things in the conditions that we face. And I think that we're actually going to, have an effect here. You know what I mean? So this is why I'm so adamant, about, what I speak on here. And I'm adamant about trying to really apply it to myself as well, and I even think about in any situation, even when I went to the reggae festival and you had, all races there, you had all, our people, of course. I seen, Rastafarians, and then I seen, a lot of our people that, wasn't awake, and, I felt like, you needed, but then it was low frequency things there like alcohol and, they had I'm not saying anything about meat, but when you don't eat meat, and they got the meat flowing, you're like, oh, alrighty. So, it was just certain things like that, and, I like my reggae music. So I was still jamming and still feeling good and had a good time. And even when it rained, it was nice. And, the sun came rocking back out. So, it was still nice. But I just felt like, a lot of work needs to be done, because I would love to see this type of turnout at like the African or the Drum Festival and things like that. Marcus Garvey, like I would love to see the type of turnout that you've seen at the, reggae festival, because I know everybody like the reggae. So, and I was just building with a sister there earlier who was Jamaican, and I could hear it. I was like, and she was like, yeah, she was like, a lot of people said they could hear it, but she was like, she was just telling me certain things about, her culture. So we were just getting into that. But I told her, how I feel when people attack, any, that's still, relative, and related towards us, when they do that with Africans and Jamaicans or whatever, I, still get a little issue with like, why would you, do that? And she's like, it's just ignorance, it's finest. And, I agree with that. Because we have enough of beat down to just be beating each other down or beat down, other cultures that are, tied, because we're all tied, together here. So, it's like different tribes, but, still. So, even though people in the conscious community don't agree with Teddy, for me, it's just like, I just want to put all the little personal differences aside and strictly focus on the fact that we are melanated and we are targeted over that. And it is our time to shine. It is right time for our time to reclaim everything and regain everything, that was lost or stolen. So, and that's where I'm at. And I don't really care, what the difference is. You melanated, it's time to be powerful. It's time to be together. It's time to stay together. It's time to do it. It's time to put the boots on the ground and put it into work and just strictly be on that family and strictly on, putting ourselves where it's time where we're going to be ready for this shift, in regards to the universe. So it's like preparation for that, and preparation for the fact that we are going to once again, have complete control. So, and I honestly really believe that. So I think that, this is where a lot of us need to be, focused on. And I'm glad that things is working out, in regards to me. And I'm still, working. Like I said, it's a work in progress here. And I'm still trying to focus on certain things. One thing I did do, I finally really cut out certain things in regards to YouTube. So I just try to stay from certain things that I know that I probably wouldn't really, I probably couldn't really tolerate. So, so I can continue to work. I think once I get, steady on a high frequency, I think that you can be tested and not have to deal with being, swayed or anything like that. But it's just trying to actually get there. So why it's a work in progress, you just got to focus on certain, your process, and you got to try to abstain from certain things that's not going to, So even the brother I've met today, he said he does a little thing where it's not on YouTube, but he does his thing where he has a professional thing going on, a group, and they get out there. It's like a talk show in a way. And he liked a lot of the things that I was saying to him the whole ride, and it was just actually me. I did a lift, but I actually had to ride to myself. So, we talked the whole time, and then we sat in the parking lot for 30 minutes, still talking. And he gave me his business card, and he told me to, give him my number. And he said that he wanted me part of his panel, because he said we need somebody like you and powerful to be able to, speak like this and speak on certain things. When I was even telling him about what I wanted to do for communities and what we need to be focused on, and certain things, and talk about, changes, and just, white supremacy and oppression and genocide and some of the, all the above. And so I got his card, and I said, sure, he asked me what my schedule was, and I said, well, school starts this week, so I really won't know until, that happens. But I told him, I'll definitely, hit him up and let him know what my schedule is like, and, see if I could, still make time to, do that, whatever, because I really was going to put all my energy into school, besides my personal life, obviously. So, because there's a lot of stuff coming up here. I didn't know Atlanta was this, it's a lot of stuff, it's popping at ATL. So I was just like, there's so many events, going on constantly. It's trying to be there for everything. But, stuff like that, and just other things that I'm trying to really get into and learn and seek and get more into. Because every time you go to anything, you link up with people, you meet other people, and they always introducing you to so many other things, and and you're just like, wow, so. And even now I'm trying to get really into the land and purchasing, having our own farmers markets and things like that. So, that's been great, and obviously trying to elevate to a higher frequency. So I just realized, we got to fight the power. That's why I was saying that song, Fight the Power That Be. We got to do it in every way, because this is everything that, the power hates, and start with us waking up. So I definitely try to make that, my primary mission, waking up my people and whatever I got to afford them to, or things like that, but just trying to speak on my own, and things like that. And I'm feeling empowered by empowering them, or, it's like you can feel the energy, and I think that's love, and I think it's wonderful. We all have love for each other, and try to display that love, and showcase that, to really realize that there's things out here that are bigger than ourselves, bigger than our ego, bigger than our individuality, and this is why you see a lot of individualism. Because a lot of people can't get out of that, and I still struggle. I can admit that I still struggle with that here, but I really realize that it is a work in progress, and it's always going to, be that way. And as long as you can still try to maybe even end it on a good note, which is great, because, you can finally get out and let people still feel the positive energy before they even, leave, so they can take away, positivity, you know what I mean? So, and then that can, change the rest of their day and things like that. And it can even change the rest of your day and change your mood. So one thing I try to, chalk things up to is it's just that bad moment. It's just that moment that I wasn't feeling, 100% or up to par, just feeling positive, or maybe something happened that really stirred up my emotions, but it just happened for that moment. But it doesn't mean that it has to spoil the day. You know what I mean? And the mood of the day, and it doesn't have to, spoil my spirit, throughout. So, and that's what I think that it's about, waking up and realizing, and always, correcting that, checking that, and meditating on it, and thinking about it a little bit, to where you just like, okay, I see where I was wrong, or I see where I made this mistake, and let me check my behavior and correct that. And it starts with just acknowledging it, admitting it out loud to yourself that, okay, I did this, and why did you do that? To try to even define it, and ask yourself, why did I do this? What happened? What sparked it? What caused it? So maybe so I can figure out, how do I best work on that, so I don't have to, deal with it again, and if I catch myself, I can catch it early and say, okay, you see it? Okay, this is what you got to do. Catch yourself, you know what I mean? So it's just things like that. So, it's balance here, people. I'm realizing that it's all about balance, So, and I'm realizing that now. So, well, not just now, but I'm slowly but surely, applying, that. So that's what it is. And I just wanted to come out here and really speak, really like me, quickly speak on that, because it was just certain things that I was just feeling and certain things that I've been dealing with and I've been doing and even just on my own. And I just realized, like, yeah, it's time to do this. Like, even after the rest of Reggae Festival, I bought a lot of Black owned. They're doing a lot online too, shipping a lot of stuff in. So, but just, it's work. So, and it's time. So, hopefully that, we can just inspire each other. We can inspire one another. We can be there to motivate one another, because we desperately need that. And I could tell that the sis needed that. She needed that, that affirmation. She needed that confidence and that support, because she's probably dealing with a lot, right? As we all are. We deal with a lot. The trying times, just, life in general, this daily, everyday struggles. And then we also have, genocide, the oppression upon us. And that's just a lot to combat and battle. And sometimes we, come from, neighborhoods and environments where, we also deal with, our own race that wants to see us as the enemy because they're still, programmed. So, it's just a lot to combat. And I think that's what we, have to focus on. So for me, it's like, I'm never here to shun anybody's growth or stump anybody's growth. I welcome that growth because, we all were there at one point, and a lot of us, are still working on ourselves. So keep in mind, like I said, we all have a process and we all have to embrace that. And we all have to acknowledge that, and give each other that love and that respect. And this is why we tell each other, like, okay, I get it. I've been there. So, and I want to use that. And I want to tell you, like, I can relate. I get it, and I understand. And I get, but I just want to show you what I went through. And I'm saying you got to follow exactly, but you can use some things to inspire you to, change certain things that is not beneficial, to your health in mind, body, or spirit. So, this is just what I'm just lately learning little bit by little bit each day, taking each day at a time, and, I've been pleased with certain things. I love when it's positive. Obviously, who doesn't love when it's positive? But it's trying when it's negative. And, I guess it's just trying to get back to being positive and smiling and having just that energy flowing through you, flowing through your chi here. So I would end it on that note, family. I just want to say, thanks you all for tuning in. God, I'm not sure on my title. I guess work in progress. But I'm trying to figure out the title of the video. But, stay positive, stay motivated, stay inspired, keep inspiring others, keep motivating others, keep elevating your frequency and realize that it's our time, family. It's time for change. It's time. And we are doing it, little bit by little bit. And keep in mind that, each day, progress here. So as each day goes by, there's progression. So remember, family, thank you. Like I said, I love you all. Remember to keep your heads up, keep them boots on the ground. Peace.